Well, good Tuesday morning to you. I'm News 19 meteorologist Daniel Bonds. We are under a News 19 weather impact alert day because we are still tracking Debby, Tropical Storm Debby. Here are some of the things you need to know about this particular system as it impacts us here in the Palmetto State and South Carolina. So today through Thursday, we do have a flood watch in effect for a large part of the Midlands, and that will continue until 8 o'clock on Thursday. Catastrophic, life-threatening flooding will be possible. You do want to pay close attention to the weather this week because any kind of changes in this system as it moves through South Carolina could change what you'll see in your area. So Tropical Storm Debby moving very slowly at this time. We still do expect days of heavy rainfall, and the roadways possibly will be impassable in some locations. So you do need to remember that. You don't want to drive or walk through flooded areas. Also, you want to have a plan. If you're told to evacuate, do so immediately. Stay away from down power lines, electric lines, and avoid contact with flooded waters. Those waters can be contaminated. Here is the 11 o'clock advisory from the National Hurricane Center for Tropical Storm Debby. It does have winds of 40 miles per hour, moving towards the east-northeast very slowly at about 6 miles per hour. So it is moving slowly. It is right around the center of circulation, not too far off the South Carolina-Georgia border there. It is forecast to move a little bit more out to sea and then eventually turn more towards the north and eventually more towards the north and west. We'll zoom in here a little bit closer and show you how crazy this path potentially will be. But you see it kind of jogs out to sea and then makes potentially another landfall. One thing you'll notice too, large area of uncertainty here. So this would be Wednesday, this is Thursday. There we are Friday as this system starts to move a little bit more towards the north and east. And then our weather will start to improve, especially by the time we get to the weekend. Here are the spaghetti models for this system. Pretty good consensus here for a lot of them, but then they kind of spread out. This is why they call them the spaghetti models. I will say some of the more reliable models, this TVCN, kind of moves it a little bit more towards the north and east, and you'll see it's pretty close to that darker red line. That darker red line or thicker red line is the official track from the National Hurricane Center. So still some uncertainty and question marks for the path of Tropical Storm Debby. What we're certain about, though, we're going to get a lot of rainfall regardless. This morning, you see the showers moving through, heavy downpours. Here we are at 3 o'clock this afternoon, more showers moving through parts of the Midlands, heavy downpours, flooding will be possible. 6 o'clock this evening, still more the same. As we go late tonight and early Wednesday morning, we may squeeze out a couple of breaks. Forecast model's been indicating maybe a few breaks in the rainfall. This is 3 o'clock, have a few breaks out there with some more heavier activity in the eastern and southern half of the Midlands. Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock. A little bit of a break in the activity in the western half of the area, but still more rain in the south and eastern part of South Carolina and the Midlands. Wednesday afternoon, still maybe a little bit of a break in the action, but then we'll have more showers, more heavy downpours move in. It looks like late Wednesday, and then certainly as we go into Thursday morning as well. Here we are, Thursday, 3 o'clock in the morning, more showers moving through, rotating in as Debby continues to make its impact across South Carolina, even up to North Carolina. 11:45 Thursday morning, maybe a little break in that action for at least some areas. And then as we get later in the day on Thursday, still more showers, maybe even moving into the upstate of South Carolina at that point. Looking ahead towards Friday morning, finally some breaks in the clouds, at least being indicated by our forecast model here, as that system does finally lift more towards the north and gets out of our area. So this is going to be quite a few days of rainfall, heavy downpours at times, and that's why we have that flash flood watch in effect for most of the Midlands until 8 o'clock Thursday. So you're talking about a long duration here of rainfall impacting parts of South Carolina and even up to North Carolina. If you have plans to head that way, still a lot of rainfall as the system rotates counterclockwise. You can see it here. This is Thursday afternoon, Thursday night into early Friday. Gradually this thing starts to get out of our area and move more towards the north. Here we are Friday morning at 7 o'clock. A little bit of sunshine possible as some drier air does try to filter in. So that will be certainly great news after we get a good bit of rainfall. European forecast model, pretty much in agreement with our in-house forecast model, showing this thing kind of lifting out of here by Friday or so. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, American model showing the rain. Saturday, Sunday appears to be dry, so something to kind of look forward to, at least the potential for some dry weather over the weekend. Latest from our in-house forecast model, still showing an additional amount of rain, heavier amounts of rain, especially in the southern and eastern half of the Midlands. Even parts of the western half may pick up some of this heavier shower activity. This is right in line with the Weather Prediction Center's forecast of 7 to 10 inches. This would be over a 7-day time span. 5 to 7 here in this kind of orange color, and this, let's say darker orange color, 4 to 5 inches of rainfall in that area. Flood watch does continue for most of the Midlands until 8 o'clock Thursday evening, with the exception of Saluda, Newberry, and Fairfield counties, but can't rule out heavy downpours in those counties as well. A little bit of a wider view, rainfall totals. You can kind of see at least our in-house forecast model showing the better chances for the heavier rain in the eastern half of the Midlands, southern half of the Midlands, over towards the PD and the Grand Strand at this point. So that would be additional rainfall. Weather Prediction Center showing possibility of 10 to 15 inches. PD over towards the Grand Strand, 7 to 10 inches, southern and eastern half of the Midlands. Once again, that would be over a 7-day time frame. A little bit of a wider view shows that rainfall, heavy rainfall potentially in parts of North Carolina. And so this rain in North Carolina will lead to some river flooding. We know that. We saw that a few years ago with Matthew and even Florence. Excessive rainfall potentially today in this purple area. That's the high risk for flash flooding. That risk does shift a little bit more towards the east, it looks like, on Wednesday and Thursday. Still a high risk. By the time we get to Friday, the risk for flash flooding does finally start to decrease. But mentioned this earlier, flash flood watch in effect for a large portion of South Carolina and most of the Midlands until 8 o'clock Thursday evening. We do have tropical storm warnings now in effect for most of the coastal region. This area is in red, with the exception of the northern half of Horry County at this point. Storm surge watch for the Grand Strand, storm surge warning in effect for the low country of South Carolina. Still do have a tornado watch for parts of the coastal region of South Carolina until 5 o'clock this afternoon. Temperature-wise, I guess the good news is temperatures are going to be below normal today, topping off in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Rain will continue this afternoon, this evening, and tonight. Lows tonight dropping down into the low to mid 70s. We're still under the News 19 weather impact alert day for Wednesday and Thursday, as that heavy rain will continue to make an impact for us here across the Midlands. Gradually, those rain chances do decrease, it looks like, especially as we head into the weekend. As of now, just a small chance for a pop-up shower or thunderstorm on Saturday. Rip currents along the coastal region, high risk of rip currents. I don't know if you'd be heading to the beach right now with all the rain expected, but high risk for rip currents, dangerous and potentially life-threatening rip currents along the coastal region of South Carolina. Expecting rain Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Myrtle Beach. More rain in Charleston. Weekend's looking a little bit better. And in Greenville, not bad, really. Some clouds Tuesday. Today, obviously, partly cloudy skies and rain Thursday, possibly into Friday. Weekend looks pretty good in the upstate of South Carolina. Debby, fourth named storm, second hurricane of the season. If you remember, we did have major Hurricane Beryl just a few weeks ago. That was a Category 5 storm. And we're also watching this area. So it's not just Debby. We're also watching this area. It's kind of, let's say, just north of South America there. It's going to be moving generally towards the Yucatan Peninsula. As of right now, Hurricane Center gives us a 30% chance or small chance for further development. Looking a little bit ahead in our forecast, August 13th through August 19th, it looks like near normal temperatures for us and possibly drier than normal conditions, at least for a little sliver there of South Carolina over towards the Savannah River. So we'll dry up a little bit. Do want to leave you with something to look forward to. College football only 25 days away, Labor Day 27 days away. And if you're thinking about fall, the fall equinox, 47 days away. And as always, you can follow me on my social media outlets. But the big story today, we're going to continue to track Debby. You do want to pay close attention to the weather for the potential for dangerous and life-threatening, possibly catastrophic flooding over the next several days. We'll bring you more updates on air and online. For now, have a great day.